Who would have expected Sydney's Joel Amartey to kick 9 goals in a game during the 2024 season? Even the most optimistic Swans fan would have laughed at that possibility, and a big pool of the AFL fans might not even have known who he was, but they do now. It was a once-in-a-lifetime game. 0 disposals and 2 tackles in the first quarter showed no sign of what was to come. Amartey, more impressively, had only 10 disposals on the night, each one becoming a score on his way to tallying up 9 goals and 1 behind. Before the round 14 game, he had totaled 22 goals and was playing great football. If he had kicked say 4 or 5 goals, I think most people would have found it impressive, but not unbelievable. This was certainly unbelievable, and isn't the first time we've seen a lesser known player all of a sudden kick a big bag. We have to start 6 years ago with another Sydney Swan. The name Ben Ronk might ring a bell. The former rookie pick in 2016 had to wait until 2 seasons later to debut. Against Geelong in round 6, he gathered 15 disposals, kicked 2 goals and laid 7 tackles. From a small forward, you can't ask for much more. The following week, he had another 13 touches and 3 tackles, but couldn't manage a goal. The following Friday night, Ronk would have the game of his life. The 4-win and 3-loss Swans travelled to the MCG to face the 5-win, 2-loss Hawks in an early season showdown. Hawthorn would have prepared for Luke Parker, a young Tom Papley and Josh Kennedy, but there is no way they braced for a 4-goal start from Ronk. His speed and finishing kept Sydney in it at quarter time. 4 goals to Hawthorn, 4 goals to Ronk.
Little ball okay. Here is Ronk again, he's feeling it. Was he legged? Doesn't matter, he's kicked 5. Yep, he's kicked 5. That's a handful for a kid.
5 goals in a quarter and 5 minutes. As the rain began to fall and the slippery conditions settled, Ronk fell quiet, but his pressure and tackling was ferocious. In a key moment in the game, while Sydney were trailing, he stepped up, kicking a creative goal at a nothing. Then, with 1 minute and 40 seconds left, his night would be capped off.
Goes long. Swans have got a big chance here. The full forward. Mark taken. And do you know who it is? Not Ben Ronk. Buddy Ronk kicks his 7th. And they're home.
He was by far the highest rated player on the ground, finishing with 11 disposals, 10 tackles and 7 goals. The combination of 10 tackles and 7 goals is still to this day the only time in history the feat has been achieved since stats were tracked from 1987. His career would fizzle out, but he still managed 44 games and 39 goals, but will be forever remembered for that Friday night at the G. There was so much excitement for Mad Jack Daw when he debuted in round 4 for North Melbourne against the Brisbane Lions. He was the first Sudanese player ever to be drafted to an AFL club and clearly had worked extremely hard. He toured away for 2 seasons in the VFL as a rookie selected player before finally breaking through. 30 seconds into his first game, he kicked a goal and the crowd erupted, but things changed quickly. 12 minutes later, Daw had a nasty head clash with a teammate and was subbed out the game. He did return the next week and played round 6, combining for 5 total marks and just 1 goal. But out of nowhere in round 7, Daw took over. Against the 1-win Western Bulldogs, he got silver service and feasted.
Daw, can he get there? You bet he can. Not that time. Perfect. And they open up a 14-point lead.
It was an even performance throughout the 4 quarters for him. When the game was still tight in the second half, Daw's 2 goals in the third quarter gave the Kangaroos separation. His 6th was from a free kick and showed the panic the Bulldogs' key defenders had when trying to stop the man mountain who was on fire. He finished with 18 disposals, 8 marks and 6 goals for in the huge 54-point victory. 5 games, 3 of them finals and a grand final win. It's what Jacob Townsend did in 2017 from out of nowhere. The former GWS Giant, taken as a zone selection player, played just 28 games over 4 seasons for the club before being traded to Richmond for a 4th round selection. At the time, it seemed to be a depth acquisition, and in case any of the Richmond small forwards in Daniel Rioli, Dan Butler or Jason Castagna got injured, Townsend would be the security blanket. He didn't even play for the Tigers until round 22 of 2017. But it's not like his form wasn't good at VFL level, as he would go on to claim the JJ Liston Trophy for the best and fairest player in 2017. Josh Caddy's hamstring opened the door, and in came Townsend. He did his damage early and booted 3 of the first 4 goals for Richmond in an important game out west against Fremantle.
Third. Just outside the arc, but in perfect conditions. Struck it pretty well. He's an unlikely hero.
As Richmond slowly began to put the foot down, he chipped in with another goal early in the third and finished off with 2 last quarter goals in the 104-point demolition.
Castagna, they could raffle it between them. Hands it up to the man of the moment. Townsend. Of course it is. 6-goal afternoon for Townsend. The best game of...
In the last round of the season against St Kilda, Townsend kicked another bag of 5 to cement his spot in the Tigers 22. He had a quiet qualifying final, but did kick 2 goals, doing just enough to hold his place again. He made it to grand final day and chipped in with another 2 goals in what was a whirlwind month of football for himself and the Tigers. We all remember this moment from round 2 of 2016 when Collingwood faced Richmond at the MCG.
Sets it up, 1 mark, hasn't happened, still a chance, is it a goal? It is! The Pies are in front, is it Grundy? It's Grundy! It is unbelievable!
Grundy was the hero, but his 6-goal haul by a whipping boy got Collingwood in the position for a shot to win the game. His name is Alex Fasolo. Now Fasolo had kicked a bag of 5 goals in his first season, and a further 7 times had kicked more than 3 goals. However, he was still inconsistent, and up until 2016 had only played 20 games or more in a season once, and that was back in 2012, his second season. In round 1 of 2016, in an 80-point loss to Sydney, he collected 13 disposals and kicked a goal. Richmond beat Carlton by 9 points in round 1, so it set up a fascinating clash on a big Friday night. The Pies had Travis Cloke, Darcy Moore and Jordan Ngoe up forward, but it was Fasolo who stole the show. When the Pies needed it in the second half, he delivered, kicking 2 huge goals in the third quarter, including one from a high-flying mark attempt. His 4th came in the final quarter to put Collingwood in front, but when they were down by 17 points with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left, the game looked almost over.
He's kicked his 5th, he has. He's got a handful and there's still a chance.
He's confronted, kicks it inside the forward 50, holding down the ground. How will they call it? The dangerous Fasolo is getting the free kick against Grants. He's kicked 5. Collingwood, their 12th goal backwards, and he puts it through. It's been a Fasolo effort of sorts.
Ultimately, without a career night from Fasolo, that Brodie Grundy moment would have never happened. He kicked 5 of Collingwood's 10 goals in the second half and got the 3 Brownlow votes on the night.